Good evening. This is the Athens City Shade Tree Commission meeting for November 14th, 2013. We have no tree permit or right-of-way issues. We do have a Title 37 landscape ordinance issue concerning construction by Hoon Construction on Herald. So if you'd like to come up and introduce yourself and...
Here. My name is Cassie Bowen. I own Hoon Incorporated and we're proposing to build an office on Herald Avenue.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what you want me to say.
Well, I have...
application.
Yeah.
And my architect prepared that for me based on, I think, a list of plantings that you guys recommend. So I'm not exactly sure what you need me to say or do.
Well, actually, I was quite impressed with this plan, and I don't think I've got any questions at all, but formally I just have to make sure that, do any of the other Tree Commission members have questions about the plan?
I did wonder about the native sycamore. That is not a commonly planted tree, and I wondered if they might have difficulty finding it. Perhaps not.
Yeah, but they can plant alternates if they want. Sometimes people think that when they present a list of trees to us that they absolutely have to go with those trees. If you do find it difficult to locate, I mean, they are good. It's a good selection of trees. But if you do have difficulty locating trees, then alternates, as long as they're large shade trees, and we have a list of acceptable ones.
I think the architect, I think he chose from that list.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Jim Thomas, I think, has been through this with you guys before, so he tried to comply right off the bat.
Okay, good.
I did have these priced by, I think it's 5 Springs.
Okay.
And he didn't mention anything as being a
Yeah, well,
problem.
he's one of the ones that could get some things that are somewhat unusual.
Yeah, so I'm not aware of any issues like that.
Okay, good.
It's a really good selection.
Good.
The only other thing we have to look at with these, and it may not apply here, is do you have a trash area at all that needs to be screened? Is there a dumpster going in at all?
You know, there isn't one planned at this point. I would imagine that there would be a need for one. And I think we had talked about this approach off of Herald Avenue here probably would be straight in from that. It would be right here.
Yeah. Well, there are screening requirements for dumpsters, and they're in the landscape ordinance.
Okay.
So you'd be expected to follow those.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I just want to say thank you to Cassie for shopping locally for your trees.
Oh, sure. We try to do that as much as we can. We want people to use us instead of going out of town as well for their construction needs, so it's nice to keep it all as close as we can.
Okay. Did the city have any comments on the plans that you're aware of, Ron?
Not that I'm aware of. I know that the math worked out.
Yeah.
And code seemed to be in favor of it.
Okay. Then, unless there's any objection, I think we approve of this plan. All right, and I'll let the code director know.
Okay, thank you. That's all you need me for?
That's all we need, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Ron, your report, please.
It's laying in front of you. So the Columbus Road planting plan is up there, and basically my guidance was we need to plant shade trees on 900 feet of the longest island, the northbound island. So I chose a selection of trees that were primarily native. I chose the Yoshino cherry just for a theme to match along the Schaefer Street and Richland Roundabout, things like that coming in. Just a little glimpse of it, not a lot of them, just 6, 1 at each end, 3 at each end. And then apparently the paper birch is not a great choice, although I do love that tree. But everything else is a shallow root tree. I think that's something that we need to be conscientious of when we do the planting. And on the far north end are some trees that are a little more water tolerant. because there's no drainage installed in those islands, so we need some trees that can be fairly water tolerant. So,
yeah, I was a little bit concerned about this because it's quite usual to have permeation tests done when you plant trees, and clearly the water's not going to permeate through that surface that's underneath the soil. So I'm a little bit concerned about that, and if there was a way to drill some holes through there with an auger or some other device just to break it up, I think that would be a great improvement, because we know we've had problems at the community centre with the fact that the airfield wasn't penetrated in many areas, and that's led to trees not being able to thrive.
I think there's 10 dead trees there that might have had tarmac below.
So this is a concern. We can't do any more than express our concerns on this, but that is a concern that I'd like you to read.
we may be able to drill. I'll have to check into that.
Yeah.
I don't know how thick we're talking on the area underneath the soil. Many lifts of different types of pavement over the years.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's rather like planting trees in boxes.
Yes. They've got limited soil then to survive it. You got? It's a bit.
Go ahead.
Other trees that are relatively shallow rooted and will take both wet and compacted soil and dry soil are the willow oak and the
And another oak?
yes.
Swamp?
So tired I can't think tonight.
My color?
The one that has the limbs that tend to come down like
pin
that.
oak?
Pin oak,
oak,
yeah.
which would, the lower limb problems wouldn't be the best there, but you're probably going to have to limb up any trees that you put there.
Sure, absolutely. And the plan, what I'm working on with the plan is a annual maintenance of that area, a pruning maintenance, where I'll probably go out and do a lot of the lifting on them. It's also a part of the UPS grant, and this is an opportunity for the Keep America Beautiful fund to have people from UPS, the mail service, to come in and assist with the planting of the trees. So we could get more bang for our buck, so to speak, because we won't have to pay as much in planting costs, because that'll be provided by the UPS folks. $3,500 is from that. We have $3,500 from AEP, and there's some money in the project still for landscaping, so we should be able to get all 56 trees. And whether or not we need to drill, I'll have to discuss that with Andy Stone.
Yeah.
That's such an investment. It would be worth that extra preparation,
Really?
the drilling.
Yeah, my big concern is if the grant will expire in 2013 or not. So I have that question in place to the Keep America Beautiful people for an answer. I'm awaiting an answer on that. If we have more time for site prep, that would be great.
Yeah, and the other possibility would be to buy the trees and store them. We've done that before.
Yeah, and Five Springs Farms will work with us on that.
Yeah.
This is a really
Mr. Broadbent, I think you've got to.
Well,
You want to come over and?
okay. Chris, we haven't really talked the last
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah. I'm Greg Rockers, I'm ISA certified arborist. I live in Athens, Ohio. I'm also qualified in urban forestry and environmental sciences. This problem may be ameliorated. It depends on how it can be if the city still has money, you know, in that, what do you call that project in that area, Ron?
The Columbus Road, North Lancaster Street
Yeah.
improvements.
It's a possibility, rather than put in a number of trees that are inclined to maybe not be successful, probably won't be successful, we might be able to install some scaled down silver cells in that area. But because we're going to cut into the bottom of that casement, you know, that containment area anyway, maybe that would be the way to go, because that would pretty well guarantee that we're going to get the return on our investment as far as tree planting goes.
What did you call those?
Silver cells.
Silver cells, okay. Okay. Well, thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, and of course, appropriate to the site, too.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so Ron, if you can consult Andy and see what the possibilities are for doing some site preparation to help with the trees, and maybe check out the possibility of using a silver cell approach to it. Any other questions for Ron on this project?
This is really exciting.
Yeah, it's a neat landscaping project, so we're excited about it.
Now, it says grassy area. Is it really going to be grassy, or are you going to put in ground cover so you don't have to mow it?
It's going to be grassy.
Have there been noticed whether or not it has had a calming effect on traffic?
I think people are still getting adjusted to it. I don't know, we don't have any results back like that yet. A lot of people are still getting used to the turns, and especially turning left out of various spots.
There was a boulevard in Athens once, I don't know how long it was, Richland Avenue actually had trees down the middle of Richland Avenue at one time. And it was gone when the river was widened.
It's that long ago, apparently.
Yeah.
I was told about this. It's 50 years ago at least. Any other questions, Emily? Next item on your list, then.
I have a couple more. The fall planting, Albie and David sent me a list of planting sites, which I need to find again, because I misplaced them in my email. I'm sure they're there. But anyway, I'd like to work with Five Springs Farms to take probably 20 or so of the sites and plant trees, in addition to the Columbus Road landscape. So that'll give us a good number of trees for 2013, which goes right into Tree City USA. I did talk to Susan Calhoun from Ohio University and asked her if she would like to partner with Tree City USA. Unfortunately, we're unable to, because it's different publicly owned land, and we can't do two Tree City USAs. Ohio University, if they were interested, could do their own Tree City USA. Something that Susan's been thinking about for a while, so I just posed the question to Ann Bonner, and we can't. So the Tree City USA application will be just City of Athens work. Also, the tree inventory project that I have going on with Lorraine McCosker's class, one of Lorraine McCosker's classes at Ohio University, is moving right along. They have the Near East Side neighborhood bounded by Morris Avenue and East State Street to North May, South May, complete. Approximately 200 trees, inventoried, canopy size, condition, species, and I think it's going to be a sustainable project. There are two people that worked on that project that are interested in continuing their work next semester, and they are first-year graduate students, so they're interested in writing their papers on that. So it could be something that we could get a 2-year project out of, plus Lorraine's class could continue to provide 3 or 4 students each semester.
Are we getting a write-up of the training needed for these people to do this? Because that would help to make it sustainable, so that if we get future people, we've got
Yeah,
idea what
I've
training.
actually asked them to present to the tree commission in December about their method and their process and their results so far.
Okay, good.
And if that's okay with you, we can either put that as part of my report or just at the end of the meeting, they can give a 10 to 15 minute presentation on what they've done.
Okay.
As far as the deliverables are concerned, they're going to give me a GIS shapefile of the map and the data, and also hard copy maps of what they've done. Are there any other things that you would like to see from a hard copy standpoint? Like an actual list? I could just have them print out the list. I can do that, of the trees.
Yeah, to have it someplace accessible, digital even.
Mm-hmm. So it's all digital, and to me, the next logical spot to inventory next semester would just be continue on the Near East Side between May Street and Home. And if they get that done, move over into the Tulane and Woodside and Ransom Harris area. So it's a good project. They're very motivated.
Mm-hmm. Good.
The last thing I had is that we are installing a bus pull-off on Richland Avenue by Grover Hall, which is directly east of West Drive. The purpose of this is that we want to eliminate buses in the transit system stopping in the middle of Richland Avenue, unloading, and pedestrians just walking in front of the bus and cars passing the bus. Mm-hmm. It's just a safety hazard. So we're actually going to cut out part of the sidewalk, 90 feet of it, and install asphalt concrete and have the buses pull over there so that people can get out and not have that conflict. The sidewalk will need to be widened, so we're going to put in an additional sidewalk, and there is a pin oak that will be impacted, not to the point that we're going to remove it, but the sidewalk is going to go over it. It's an older tree, but it's really it's thriving. It's a good tree. We won't have to do any type of root disturbance. Like we initially thought we might have to do some digging and maybe do a little bit of root pruning, but we don't think we're going to have to do that. We're just going to be able to go over it. And it'll be a little bit of the sidewalk will have a little bit of a curve to it in that, around that tree. Mm-hmm. And we'll protect the roots with mulch. Good. So that will be starting next week on Monday. That's all I have.
Okay. Any questions for Ron?
Maybe you could give people a positive report on that pecan tree, the giant pecan tree that's out by the community center. We get inquiries about it, that it is going to be protected. And
yeah, the pecan tree that is just east of the caretaker's house in front of the community center, that house is going to be demolished. It doesn't serve any function for the city anymore. There is a pecan tree that produces, and a lot of people come and grab those pecans, and we're not going to touch that tree. That tree's going to be protected. What we're worried about is there are a couple pines. I think there are 2 pines. There might be. Anyway, they're right on the east side of the house, and we're going to have to make some concerted efforts to not damage those trees when we're doing the demolition process.
they're really close.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're right on it. I mean, maybe we need to do some trimming before we do the demolition so that we don't drop some of the house and rip branches off. If we prune it correctly, we might be able to save it.
How much?
Is that a white pine?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Presumably, if they salvage a lot of wood from the house, then it'll be less of a problem.
Restore is coming in and taking quite a bit, and the contractor that is doing the work wants to keep some of it. There's a lot of hardwood and things like that in the house, so I'm not sure what extent they're going to keep, but there is going to be quite a bit kept and sent to Restore.
Mr. Broadhurst.
Greg Broadhurst. I'm also concerned about that tree, and I've gone to bat before. In fact, I went to bat for the other one before the city cut it down. That was years ago. Different administration, different circumstances. I think it was for a driveway or something. Anyway, we need some insurance by contractors, especially if they're not city, that they follow the development ordinance. In other words, even if they're a volunteer organization, they have to practice BMPs, best management practices, in site preservation. And we already have classes for this stuff. So that there's no compaction occurring in the either demolition or reuse process. It's pretty important. That tree is, as we know, we don't want to impact the root zone in and around it. We don't want people driving big equipment over next to the house. If they want, it's actually a good idea that the house be disassembled. That's a good part of the plan, instead of having heavy equipment going in there and just start yanking stuff down. That's a good part of the plan. So as long as we use BMPs in the house demolition project and get the proper demolition clearance too, because the tree ordinance is part of that demolition permit. I'm pretty sure, isn't it? It's under city code, or it should be if it isn't.
All the Tree Commission can do under Title 33 is make recommendations to the Service Safety Director, and Ron represents her in these meetings. So that's all we can do, and we certainly welcome your input on that one.
Okay, well, I'll be taking a look.
I'm sure you
Thank you.
Thanks.
The pecan, you were talking about the pecan tree, right, Greg?
Yeah, the one over next to the Rickson. Thanks for...
Yeah, I don't know the exact measurement on how far that is from the house, but there's some distance between it.
Yeah. But as long as the people working on there don't start putting heavy equipment near it and things like that, it's just a site management issue.
Why don't you put a fence around it?
Yeah, I was just going to say, fence it, orange fence it.
Yeah. I was at Michigan State in the summer, and they when they have a construction project there, they put in large fence posts around the trees, and then put up a barrier that's quite difficult to see anyone driving through. It was impressive. But, yeah. Okay. Any other questions for Ron? If not, I guess we covered maintenance of tree canopy sort of in your report. I don't know if there are any other items under maintenance of the tree canopy. Any other business that commissioners want to raise? If not, we've got the minutes of the last meeting to consider.
I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Okay.
I second the motion.
Okay. Any objection to approving the minutes? Hearing none, we have minutes of the last meeting. Any matters at all arising from those minutes? No? Okay. Our next meeting will be on December the 12th, 7 o'clock. And with that, the Tree Commission is adjourned. Thank you.